All right, so here, guys, I'll just do this real quick introduction again. So thankful to have all of you here listening, and for the people that are going to listen to this, the replay afterwards. We're here with the BioFi team. We got Chris. We have it's Cody, right, Dwyer?
Correct, sir.
Yes,
Cody
see,
Dyer.
Cody Dyer, and then of course Brian Ma, the gentleman, the CEO. Brian's a fantastic guy. I speak to him a lot, and he's truly one of the nicest people in the space that I get to stay in contact with, and I'm just very thankful that these gentlemen have set some time aside to update our community. We're very big BioFi fans here, and so without further ado, guys, I know you wanted some time to explain to us kind of some updates and what's going on. Go ahead and whoever wants to start and take over, let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, I'll kick it off, guys, and just say hi to the community.
Well, a good try to say hi.
Yeah. Yes, it was a great
start.
try. Maybe he's in transition or something. We'll give him another couple seconds here, but maybe if not, Chris or Cody, maybe you guys could. Brian, you there?
Could you? Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yes, sir.
Okay, there was a call that came in and
Oh.
took the phone. I couldn't get it out of the way.
No worries, Brian. Why don't you go ahead and take it? The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, first of all, I just want to say happy Monday to everybody, and thank you guys, each and every one of you, for all of your support and your feedback and your interaction with BioFi community. The team is working extremely diligently and extremely hard to help build out the ecosystem. And we are just so excited about some of the recent announcements, and we'll spend some time and talk. Sorry about that. I'm trying to deal with this call. It keeps coming in. We are working with a couple of great providers, which we have.
Somebody really wants to get a hold of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably take this call. Which we have to. We're working with a couple of providers that we're just very excited about having added to the ecosystem, and we'll spend some time and talk about that here today. And there are just some amazing things coming up. Working with Robert is such a pleasure because not only are we like-minded, we have a lot of just incredible ideas and passions in common. And that plays out in everything that we do. When we make a decision about the ecosystem, we think about the products, we think about how to build everything up for the community. It's an incredible process that we're going through, and it takes time and energy. And there's a little bit of back and forth. There's working with the community, there's decision making, there's strategy. There's a lot of work that goes into really building things out that make sense and add value to the ecosystem. Not to mention, this thing is not all about us, as much as we would certainly love that to be the case. This is really about all the providers that we're bringing into the ecosystem. And so what we're building here is just this incredible platform. And we're trying to make it as easy as possible, as simple as possible, to bring on board a lot of heavy hitters from around the world. So just to give you an example, this morning, we were on a call with Tel Solutions Africa. And this was just an incredible deal for the biometric financial ecosystem, an incredible provider. They have such a magnificent reach across Africa. They're based in Ghana, and they have 2.5 million active users of their broad spectrum financial platform and access to another 12 million people. And that thing is moving fast. And we met with the technical team, and then we had a separate meeting with Max. And it's just amazing what we're able to accomplish. And with all the help we're getting from the community and the support, and I know we'll talk about this in more detail here, and I'll turn it over to Chris and Cody to introduce. But Robert, I would just say we are so happy to work with you, especially with your community, because you guys represent exactly the kind of thing that helps this be successful. People that believe in this, that can use the technology. You can see it. You can download the Cryptic Wallet, the UniSafeBox Password Manager. You can go to Governor Dow and soon Tell Solutions and Providence. We got to talk about Providence here. All of these are using the biometrics, and what an incredible set of software all of this is. So we're very, very excited. We thank you, Robert, and look forward to talking about all this here. And I'll turn it over to Chris.
Yeah, the pleasure's all mine, Brian. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you again, Robert, for having us, and thanks for the intro, Brian. One of the things for you folks who may not know the team really well, I'd encourage you, take some time, go to our website, take a look at the project team, everybody who's here. And while you can't rest on your laurels, it's really important for people to know that the team itself has really deep history in payments, in security, in DeFi, and the team comes together and brings all these skill sets and experiences, pull them together towards one objective. And that one objective is to develop utility and value over the long term. We're very much different, and we look at ourselves very different than a lot of the projects that are easy to stumble across out in DeFi these days. There's tons of them, and you see that people are out selling concepts, right? Launching a token to do something in the next year or two or even longer. We have solutions that work today, and we're using those to seed the marketplace, as Brian was saying. But our objective is to bring so many providers in and create this premium suite of services, financial and otherwise, for people to take advantage of, with BioFi being the glue that holds it all together. So we really have a long-term perspective. Our tokenomics are built out over a 10-year mission schedule, so you won't see things being flooded into the marketplace over the first 2 years. And we know that we can help facilitate that process and make it easy for new providers to come in and make their solutions available, all secured biometrically and all with the view of protecting your information and giving that control of your information and your identity back to you, the user and the participant in the ecosystem. So I'll hand it off to Cody and let him add some commentary.
Hey, thanks for that. I appreciate you guys taking the time to let me speak here today. My name is Cody Dyer. I'm the CSO over here at Finovant. I've really had the luck or the opportunity to kind of be able to work with Chris and Brian and kind of be able to study under them and all of the experience that they've been bringing from the traditional financial sector and all of the product development and the how to build these apps from scratch or what they look like from the inside out, and kind of bringing that from my perspective of the DeFi side and what these contracts look like, and figuring out how to make these teams work with getting these contracts on chain and getting these websites flowing and working out with how the Twitter conversations work. And it's just been it's been an excellent ebb and flow of what the veritas or the gravitas that comes with TradeFi and the ingenuity and the innovation that comes with what DeFi brings to the table. And it's almost like there's an iron sharpens iron aspect to how these the synergy is building within the organization, and it's no small feat to try and stay on keel with the leadership that has come to the table with this company. And you see sometimes in organizations it's a lot of people lead from the back, and they're always trying to get people to do things for them, and that's not the case over here. It's very much a lead by example, and the organization of getting things done for themselves. And there's no way, like, you're trying to be able to keep on flow to what the leadership has over here, and the organizational structure that comes to the table. There's a dozen people in, several meetings, all hours of the day. There's back-to-back conversations. The calendar's filled. There's new organizations coming through, and it's incredible in the amount of time. It's almost like it was a lot of like measuring. In carpentry, they measure twice, cut once, right? In DeFi or with a token and bringing this product to market, it was almost measure 1,000 times and cut it once, now then put BioFi on the market. And like Chris was saying, with like building the seed products and the organization around the cryptic wallet. And we have big updates coming for the cryptic wallet and around AVAX, and being able to integrate with the contracts we have moving on chain. And we have that symbiotic relationship working with the Unisafe box, and you being actual to take control of your end user portal through all of our products, and kind of keeping that Tesla experience as we build up and as these products come to market. And I'm sure we'll get into some conversations around all of those, but I'm just really thankful to be in the position I'm in, and working with the team I'm working with, and working with the products I'm working with, because as people come to us, and as we go to other people, the possibilities just keep growing and growing, and there's never a dull moment or a dull day, or there's never a week where you don't have something new or some sort of new development. And it's the only thing that's like I can imagine that's rivaling the on-chain integrations and the unparalleled matches of something like a product like Chainlink. I talk about this all the time, of how they just build ways on chain for people to pay them, all right? And there's other and for example, Constellation building more ways for people to pay them, and that approach and putting all those products in the entire array. We don't have enough time in our meetings to go over all the opportunities that are currently on our plate. We have to make new meetings to talk about new meetings. So where we're at now to where we're going to be, no matter who's on board, or no matter what this whole thing or what projects come to market, it's going to be beautiful.
Thank you for sharing that, Cody. That's a really good insight in kind of what's going on behind the scenes. You guys just announced the Tel Solutions deal last week on the 16th. When I read that article, what surprised me is that company itself has connections to like 100 other companies, and I'm wondering, every time you guys go into a meeting with some type of project or company, they probably have 5 or 6 other ones that could use your services. Is that kind of what you guys are finding, that like you get into one meeting and then it's really like, oh, hey, this, these people can use your help and these people can use your help? I would imagine that's how it's going, but I'd love to understand. Maybe.
It's especially with product or software development or hardware development in general. When you get into conversations with these intelligent people with these sophisticated products, they just find more ways to be like, oh, I can integrate you 3 ways, and you can integrate me 2, or these types of the more offerings you can have. And then it's like, okay, now we have to build a conversation on how we're going to build a conversation around this, or build a conversation on that device. And I'm sure there's some more answers for that, but it's just like one of the most exciting ways when you're innovating or getting in the new frontier.
Gotcha. So what's going on with Doge Run? Maybe we can get an update on Doge Run, or where would you guys like to take the conversation? The floor is really yours. I know there's probably some things you want to talk about. I don't know if there's a certain order in which way you want to go do that, but basically, you tell me which subject you'd like to talk about first, and we'll get into it.
I think that's a great question. I think we could do like a quick update, kind of a market update.
Sure.
Would help the community get a sense of where things are and kind of where we're headed. And then we can kind of peel apart a couple of these more recent ones that make a lot of sense to dive into, because it's really quite amazing. The kind of providers that are on the docket right now. So we just sat through a meeting this morning with Tel Solutions Africa. We had 2 meetings. We had a technical meeting to go through the integration of the biometrics, and they're going to do what's called on device. So this is where you have your iPhone or your Android device. And what we do is we have a big library, because this is all about security. It's all about managing your identity so that nobody can steal it, keeping your information safe. And so we do a lot on the device itself. None of this is in the cloud. It's all strictly on the device. And it'll be included in their app that they're building. They have probably, another 12 million people thereabouts that they're going to go after from their initial 2.5 million. And so they're going to start with their initial group and start rolling this out, and then expand it through their affiliates. And what this means is once the integration is complete, it'll become part of their package offering. And then as they go out and update a package through an affiliate or directly through their existing customers, this will roll out along with everything else. They have a couple of ideas on how they're going to implement it. As you guys know, we support both the voice and the face. And so we've got some people that have gone down the path and enjoyed just the facial recognition. It's important to point out on that technology that there's a couple of things there that make it very sophisticated. So one is it can detect whether your eyes are open or closed. So imagine, if you had a jealous girlfriend or something, and your eyes are closed, you're sleeping there,
I love this story.
and then she grabs your phone and opens up your phone and gets in your text messages. Nobody wants that kind of stuff, right? Your phone's private. So with this particular technology, you could actually require your eyes to be open before the phone will unlock, before your app will unlock. And that's really sophisticated technology beyond what Apple or Google is really all about. And then you get into things like liveness detection. So it's quite easy to get a 3D printout of your face in color. You could trick I'd say most of the facial recognition systems, or with a clever video, you can pretty much trick them. But you won't be able to get away with that with this technology.
You know what's funny, Brian? Can I just add, with my iPhone, I sometimes I'm wearing my sunglasses. I put it up to my face, it opens up. I'm wearing a mask. I put it up to my face, it opens up. I mean, the facial recognition on my iPhone is absolutely terrible. And so, this technology is so important because, I mean, you do want to protect all of your, all of your personal, I don't want to call it secrets, but your photos, your comments, everything that you put, your notes, some people write diaries. Your finances, yeah, I don't put my seed phrases on my phone, but that kind of stuff. And so I love that story that you tell, where people are taking their phones and scanning faces and going through them, and nobody wants that, right? Everybody wants to feel secure and protected, and I really love that your technology takes us there. And so sorry, I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And so they're really excited about this type of thing and getting it in the hands of all of their customers. And there's this whole thing about the color of skin, right? Skin can be very light, depending on your heritage or background, or it could be darker. And this technology doesn't, favor one or the other. It's agnostic to that. So the beauty is all of these huge companies that we're talking about at the moment are all in Africa, and they just love the technology. So it's amazing what we're able to do, and we can do that all around the world. And so we're talking to people in every country and every territory. The goal at BioFi is to touch and reach every person in every country and every territory. And what's quite interesting about Tel Solutions, so we also have the UniSafeBox Password Manager, which was just added to the Apple App Store last week. And in fact, Law Token is out promoting that today. They really love that technology. You know why? Because inside UniSafeBox, there's this thing called an inheritance feature. And imagine, and I hate to talk like this, but imagine if you're concerned about flying, right? You get on a plane and it's a mechanical object, so things happen to them. And let's say you're out there flying and the darn thing crashes. God forbid, I hope that doesn't happen, but let's say it did. And you've got, imagine all your Bitcoin and Ethereum and BioFi. Imagine all the stuff that you guys have been accumulating. You have a will, you have the papers to your car, right? The keys to your, the code to your safe. Everything is in there. And now what are you going to do? Imagine somebody coming along later and trying to unwind and unravel everything that you've left behind. In Uni SafeBox, we have this thing called the inheritance feature. And what you do is you set a date in the future. It could be, a week after you come back from your long trip. It could be a month later. It could be 5 years down the road. But you then bequeath it to somebody else. And if something happened to you on that date that you've set, everything that you've put in there will be handed off to that person that you've selected. It could be your attorney. And the beauty of that technology is it's completely secured by your biometrics. So if somebody got into your phone and they tried to get into that app, they could never do it. So your information will be secure no matter what, until the date at which you want it to go to somebody, and that person will be the person that you bequeath it to. And they love that technology, and they're out there promoting, La Token's out there promoting that today for us.
Wow. No, that's you guys have so much stuff. I mean, the cryptic wallet by itself, I know we've had many discussions on how many different, revenue sources that thing has too. I mean, you guys just have so many different solutions. Why, I know you guys are really big in Africa. Aren't you guys working kind of in the MENA region as well? I mean, is that kind of where you're finding most of the business? I know Africa is a little bit further ahead as far as adopting crypto and mobile payments than some other places in the world. But why did you guys choose kind of this particular area? I was just always curious.
That's a great question. As it turns out, there's a bit of a history there. We were working with a company called Zaria. They're still one of our partners, and they have a secure SIM card that you can purchase, and it has like a monthly fee or a data fee, depending on how you set it up, and that can be pushed added into your phone in the SIM slot. So that no matter where you travel, you could be in South America, you could be in Europe, you could be in Southeast Asia, that phone is going to communicate through that SIM to whatever's passing over your head. You could have a satellite for a local communication service in the Philippines, right? Use the smart system there. You could be in France and use Orange. You could be in America and use AT&T. But wherever you are, it's going to connect up to these services and allow you to then make phone calls, right? You can use Skype, you can use Viber, you can use WeChat, whatever you're using, and be able to communicate with people and get into your email and send files and take pictures and upload them and the whole bit. And the beauty of that is all of it's secure point to point. So we felt that was great technology for the Phoenix X1. Lo and behold, we ran into Stefan Fitzpatrick at Zaria when we were working with them through our partnering program and in the contract negotiations. And as a result, he got so excited about what we were doing that within a few months we were talking to him about a job, and now he's joined us. And his focus, Robert, is Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. So he's helping to actually bring awareness in these regions to our products, to the biometric financial ecosystem, and now we're connecting up with all these providers. So we really see that as a fantastic entry point into those markets. I would like to say there's a couple other key providers that we've signed up recently. So you guys remember Pedal. We talked about Pedal, and we did an AMA with Richard Eaton, and you guys will remember He's a fantastic guy out of London. He's out of the UK, and he's got a great and amazing app that will manage all the details of your car, your motorcycle, and there's a dongle that you can attach to your car, which will keep track of all of the details of your engine and the processing of the oil and fluid levels, everything that's going on in your car to manage it appropriately. Not to mention keeping track of your insurance and, you know, any kind of special maintenance you're doing on the car and all kinds of other things. It's an incredible app. That's being upgraded now with BioFi. And that'll be a major part of that. And we're going to help him get to market in a lot of different countries under the banner of BioFi. And just yesterday, if you guys had a chance, we've brought on DISC, the Drone Industry Systems Corporation.
Yeah.
And this is an incredible, another provider that's been added to the ecosystem. And they've got some incredible technology with the drones. So we'll be integrating the facial recognition. Imagine that on a drone. And let's say you have an event that maybe it's a concert or something, right? And you need to have security around the perimeter. You could send the drone out and authenticate people that are trying to get in the perimeter of a concert or an event. You could have the person who is excavating and examining a bridge, understanding are there any stress points, any cracks, any issues with the bridge. They could send the drone up in all kinds of hard to reach areas that a human can't actually see very well, but the drone can see, and send it in there. And all of that would be managed and access allowed through the biometrics. It's incredible. And then they have some technology they're going to integrate into the door, so you could use the biometrics to open up a door into your house, as an example. And these are just, Robert, these are just some of the ones just that have come in recently, some great innovations that are coming into the ecosystem. All of these are now, almost at the same time, all starting to integrate the biometrics. So the timing of this is critical. And even in this incredibly down market, right, when you're dealing with Bitcoin imploding and Ethereum and all this going on, we have not missed a beat. And we thank the community for that, because a lot of suggestions have come in from the community, from your community and through Discord and Telegram. It's just amazing. And we really appreciate all the questions and feedback, because it really helps us focus on working with these providers and coming up with these great solutions.
Brian, I'm waiting for the partnership with Ring, saying they're going to be using BioFi solutions to unlock your front door. That's really that would be the partnership where I would just go buy the biggest bottle of champagne I could find and pop it. So I'm waiting for that one. So
yeah,
and so the DISC POC is to do that.
Yeah. And by the way, Chris said a good point in that this is a 10-year thing, right? We're in this 2 months now, guys. 2 months. We're on the BioFi journey for 2 months. This is a 10-year journey. It's not a pump and dump by any means. I mean, it's just not what our minds think about. We've been doing this for 5 years leading up to this point. And that's a 10-year emission on that. Whoever's in now, or whoever got in earlier, is going to love where they are in 10 years, because this ecosystem is designed to go the distance. It's got a solid foundation, and you can see the quality of the providers coming in and the innovations that they're bringing in. And that's what excites us so much. There's no way in the world we could dream up all this innovation. It's incredible. And having the ecosystem easy for people to access and providing a way to help them for their projects to succeed is just a wonderful thing. So with all these projects and the ones coming up, we could not be more excited. It's just a great place to be and to help all these people.
No, that's great, Brian. Couldn't you walk us through kind of maybe what's going on with Doge Run and I know the minting just started for the Origin dogs and the regular dogs. Maybe just give us a little bit of background on how far the metaverse has come, when we can expect it fully launched, and when we can actually be able to take our dogs out on the track and you know, I don't want to use the word race, but go against our fellow friends maybe. How's that coming along?
Yeah, I can jump in a little bit on that. So the Doge Run Ethos Metaverse concept is quite a bit in the building, or a while in the building. There's quite a bit on the back end that's been going on since the original beta has come out. So what we have going on is an Unreal Engine realistic metaverse. So everybody's heard about, you know, Fidelity's putting a bank in the metaverse. Barbados is putting an embassy in the metaverse. Everybody's trying to figure out some sort of way. You know, they say this is the next frontier, right? So Doge Run, the Ethos, we started building last year in a separate company that was actually bought out by BioFi and Finavant. They took over our development team and the core that moved over from there. The dev that we have working, we've expanded a little bit since, but what we had from the beginning is an Unreal Engine metaverse being built to work with originally the Ethereum blockchain, now being built for AVAX, which is actually a first of its kind. He's actually coded a wallet that works with the Unreal Engine as a first of its kind plugin that can be implemented into AVAX. That will be something that is featured and offered and sold into the future. The current processing is just to do a wallet connection. That is where we are focusing most of our efforts, as well as having a Solidity developer working on an AVAX contract that develops your traits on your dog. So that's what we actually had come out just recently, the sale, or the AVAX sale for the Origin dogs and the AVAX Classic Doges. This is the first of its kind. We tried to keep the classic dogs very low, just trying to get these things kind of out the door and initiating into the metaverse, into the universe. What you'll be having seen soon is the wallet integration, being able to actually run around with your dog as your first avatar. In the future, these will be companions for other projects, Cyberly, and to be named other partners as they build out avatars. This is basically going to be acting as a hub for other places for you to learn and earn, or being able to portals to other games, or things for the anti-cheat. And it's a metaverse that's to optimize with the step-up KYC to be able to potentially have your biometrics, making it the most secure metaverse that's ever been, and the first of its kind on AVAX. So there's a whole list of things that are being done for and with the AVAX VRF, we were testing right alongside Chainlink and communication with them, waiting for that to go live. We were in like the first 50 transactions on the VRF on the testnet. That's something, a relationship we're trying to nurture. That's one of those things that the more ways you can figure out the ways to integrate, and the more products you have, the more ways, the more time you actually need to expand upon all the depth to the things that kind of work. And the ethos is meant to be just a realistic galaxy, your first Earth and solar system, and then be expanding into alternate realities and metaverses and other worlds. And the more partners you can come up with, the better. If you're thinking about a game, in 2 years, I could have you in there. You need obviously a lot more development than just thinking about a game. But this is something that's been kind of expanding over a year's amount of time, and we're really happy to kind of synergize the development, because some people can kind of be, this is a finance company, why are you guys focusing on metaverses? Well, it's just another piece of the puzzle into this major ecosystem, and this one-stop shop, if you will, for what we're trying to offer.
And then Cody, I remember we did an interview in AMA about Doge Run, I think 2 months ago, And we were talking about moon bases, right? Can you still get a moon base by owning a dog, or is that owning an origin dog? Is that still a thing?
Okay, so the separation and the difference is the distinction between the origin dog offering and the classic doges. The classic doges, and as well as everyone has the option to customize the base. The rewards that come from, or the options that'll be customize your base, will be first given to the origin holders. A lot of things will be whitelisted and sold off. There'll be things that are crafted or made or competed and earned in the game. And there's different types of the customization of your base will upgrade over time, and your bases, your options will be able to upgrade over time, and the planets themselves will upgrade over time as the phoenixes and the phones come into play, as the NFT NFTs integrate more into what we're building. You'll definitely see a real distinction. But that's kind of the AVAX and the origin dogs will all be able to breed. I'll be able to make more dogs. But that's kind of just like your start of your first companion and your first avatar. And in the future, you might have, 25, 100 different companions and avatars, just depending upon how this develops over time. Yeah.
All right, fair enough, man. I appreciate the update on that. How's the Phoenix X1 phone going? And I know you guys have been working on that for quite some time. I know there's a partnership you guys are trying to lock in with a big phone company. Any updates that we can give the community and the people listening at home about that?
Yeah, sure. Just a comment I'd like to make about the metaverse before we leave that.
Yeah, please, Chris.
Is, Doge Run is going to be a lot of fun to compete and play in that. And building off of what Cody's been saying, your Doge, your dog, is going to be your companion in that metaverse. And you can think about the things we can do in there. It's more than just gaming. And one of the things we spoke with Mike and Jamie from Disc yesterday on their AMA, on their Twitter Spaces. One of the folks in the audience asked about training. They said, what a great thing, what a great opportunity to do training in a metaverse for drone pilots. And that's really right up the alley of what we were talking about with Mike. But even before we had the conversation with Disc, is how do we teach people things? How do we use it for something beyond gaming? For example, how do we take people who are not like your audience and sophisticated in DeFi and understand what things mean? How do we bring concepts of DeFi to people so they can learn how to do it? Right now, if you don't really know much about it, it's kind of difficult to get BioFi. How do you do it? You have to learn a lot before you can get there. So it'd be really great from square one. You could have a DeFi 101 and teach people what things mean, and then how do you navigate within DeFi in order to get there. So that's just one of the other things that we're focused on and we're interested in building out in the future. There's so much to bring there from an education perspective as well as a fun gaming experience as well.
It definitely feels like there's so many different things that can be built out here. I mean, the options are endless. We just have to think of them and then build them, right?
That's right. Exactly right. It's a great space to do things. So that's where that is. As far as the X1 goes, there's a lot of opportunity there as well. Now, Brian and I were on a call yesterday discussing the engineering, discussing the capabilities, discussing we're not quite, it's on our timeline for sometime next year.
Okay.
So we are doing the best we can to advance that, but let's just keep it where it is for the moment. But the new device is going to be 5G. The existing Phoenix X1 is something that just might be sold through Tel Solutions in Africa. They're looking at us producing a quantity for them to sell now. But as far as the next gen device goes, the engineering is really important on that because it is a 5G device. We need to make sure that it has sufficient battery capacity for something that uses more battery. And you're going to see some similar features out there, like the dual SIMs, the extra security chip on the phone to keep your information secure. So that's all in the works. And as I said, we're having those conversations now. And if we could, we would start production on them tomorrow. But it's a longer process.
Gotcha.
And we'll get there, and we know how engaged and interested the community is, because there's a lot of things you can do with it other than secure your information, and it will come loaded with things like SafeBox, the cryptic wallet, ISK, Pedal, and all the other providers that are coming to the ecosystem now. It will have. I lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry.
It'll have everything, basically, is what you're saying. It'll have everything.
Right.
Yeah, no, we're following you. We're following you, Chris.
But the idea is it's going to have so much node capability. That's where I was going. People want the ability to use their device as a node, and that is one of the critical thinking elements that's going behind the design. We want that to be able to act as a node, so that in the evening, you're done, you turn your phone, you're done for the night, you just set it up, you let it go, and let it act as a node and confirm transactions on the Constellation network, as an example. So you can actually get benefit from passive income by using the device. That is one of the things we really are focused on.
I might end up buying just like 500 phones and then just having a room in my house where they're just constantly on my trying to mine some DAG or whatever.
You need 499 friends. Secured.
Oh, guys, that's funny.
I'm gonna let you farm my rewards all by yourself.
Yeah, no, I got DAG miners, the door miners. I've got enough for nodes. I mean, I'm a huge DAG. I guess, what do they call it?
So
Green Bay Packers cheeseheads.
They may end up working out in a way that you can compound different rewards or different styles into your one device. So your device might be able to be more powerful.
Oh, wow.
In a sense, basically the idea is that you're meeting certain reward limits, or kind of like criterias or of amounts and different. And over time, the idea is that it's kind of like a membership program where you're depositing into a rewards contract for a lockup of a period of time for an agreement, and that amount of the agreement unlocks certain reward tiers. Because similar to like the way the Crow debit card works. With the different amounts of, the cash backs or the other types of earnings or different, airport lobbies or et cetera, whatever types of rewards that we can start. You've seen the very early phases of what we've done. Like, okay, you lock up this much, you get the access to the APK for Unisafe box, you get the metaverse beta, you're going to get the whitelist for the phone, and then the access to the SATEC API, and we'll just begin adding and constructing these programs more seamless over time, and adding more insurances and or not. They're actually non-insurances if they're on chain technically, but that's hearsay. These other types of products and services and these lockups that will come with your access to the ecosystem. So it's think of it like a Sam's Club, where the different you get the different options to the bulk and those other types of benefits. Very one-stop shop or all-inclusive style ecosystem. So the amount more that you have locked up, the more accesses and privileges you'll get within the ecosystem.
Gotcha. Guys, is there anything else you'd like to cover? I mean, I might have a few other questions. I don't know if the audience maybe has any questions for you guys, but is there anything else going on that you feel is relevant that we should know about? I mean, any other partnerships you guys are excited or close to, or anything else going on?
Absolutely. And I think, Robert, that's one of the key elements of having an ecosystem like this. And, literally the whole team is kind of I'll call it in the sales mode, right?
Yep.
The idea is that we can take the APIs, and they're designed to be quick. We realize that the token, the movement of the token, and its applicability to each of the products, each of the providers, is critical in growing this thing over this big 10-year horizon. We want to have thousands and thousands of providers in here. And so the idea is to get this API in the hands of as many as possible. So like what you're talking about, they can then refer other people in and just build this up to the place where it's a one-stop shop. People can come in, access all the utility. There's tons of utility. There's going to be all kinds of things in the metaverse that go beyond gaming, which would just be amazing to see, and really open that up. But I would say keep an eye on all of the social media. There'll be lots of things coming in on the social media side. So we want to keep our eyes on all the social media channels. And then we would love to come back and do a few more AMAs as we get some of these just super mammoth deals that come in. Those would be great to talk about. These guys that we're talking about now are actually pretty darn big. These are earth-shattering size already. Imagine some bigger ones than these.
That's what we're all excited about, Brian, and that's what we're waiting for. I'd imagine, you guys would have a huge, any type of government phone that needs extra security or biometrics. I would just think they would just want something like this, or even like maybe not government, but a security company that wants to make sure that, who's ever, accessing the phone or the data on the computer is legitimate and real. I mean, there's every company in the world could figure out a way to use something that you guys have to offer, which I think is one of the biggest benefits to being a BioFi holder, right? They're really you guys are partnering with this company called Pedal in the UK that does stuff for cars. You know what I mean? It's really endless on the possibilities, and it's just pretty crazy. You guys have only been out 2 months, and you guys have already put together millions of dollars worth of deals. And I know you guys are working on a ton of more, and it's just very exciting stuff.
And it's incredible, coming from the DeFi space and watching people try and figure out how things are going to work on chain, and then them talking about bridging real world, and all these people talking about bridging, the real world to DeFi and all these, the TradeFi, DeFi bridges and all this stuff, and actually seeing it, the difference in, there's another person, there's another company on the run with real world solutions, and it's just there's no smoke and mirrors to what Finavant and BioFi are doing, and coming from so much, almost 10 years in crypto, and a handful of years in almost in DeFi, seeing the amount of smoke and mirrors that people tried to pull off, or seeing companies do hundreds of % on small announcements of integrations, and what is actually happening from Finavant now is earth shattering in comparison to what we've even been seeing over the last couple of years.
Robert, I want to just build on a comment you mentioned earlier when you were talking about us meeting with people and providers and them having, there's other people they know that could use a solution, or there's other solutions that they can use of ours. When we talk about Pedal, we're already I don't want to get too far ahead on this, because we're helping them launch and get that product out for automobiles in the UK and here in the US. But we're already looking about how we can apply that to different industries, like over-the-road trucks, right? We're looking at how we can take that technology and expand on it. That's exactly what we're trying to do with every solution that we have. So one solution becomes more.
Our verticals have verticals.
I wonder too, guys, if we're going to be getting in our new cars in 2 to 3 years from now, and instead of using a key, it uses your biometrics to turn on or something like that. It's just, possibilities are endless, guys, and it's just really it's just an incredibly interesting space to be in, and just learning and growing as you do, and I really do think the possibilities are endless for you guys. So it's
absolutely sci-fi tech here in the present right now.
Yep. It's like X-Files. I used to watch X-Files when I was a kid. I mean, this was 20 plus years ago, but anyways, Anything else that we haven't gone over, guys? I know we've almost kept you here an hour, and I know you guys probably got a ton of stuff going on today on Monday. But anything else you think is necessary or we haven't talked about that you would like to share with the community and the people that are going to be watching this later on YouTube?
Would there be any quick questions from the audience we could take?
That's a great question. Anybody want to come up and ask Brian, Chris, or Cody? Yes, see, I got it. See, I didn't forget. Any questions from you guys? Please raise your hand. We'll give you a couple minutes. I know people get a little bit of gun shy sometimes to want to raise their hand and come up, but you know, we'll give them a couple minutes to do that. No questions so far though, guys. I think you guys did a really good job about kind of updating where we are and kind of where we're going. Anything maybe you can tell us over the next 30 to 60 days, anything else, other stuff that you guys may be working on or anything else going on, or did we kind of maybe we went over all that already?
I think
download our apps. Give us good reviews.
Okay. Is that in the iOS App Store and then in Android?
So, yeah, the Cryptic and USB, the Unisafe box are both on the Apple stores right now.
Okay.
And Cryptic is also on the Android stores. The Unisafe box is coming to the Play Store. But go give us 5 stars because I appreciate that. And if you want to leave a comment about how great Cody is.
Yeah, nice, Cody.
We'll be very confused.
Are the apps free to use right now, or is there a cost to them?
So Cryptic is totally free.
Okay.
And we have a big update coming for that with the AVAX coming. And Unisafe Box is free for your first 30 days.
Okay. And
then it will give you the options to pay in BioFi for longer periods of time, the longer lockups for your. So you can get all files on there, all your. Any type of information you want to save, and you lock that to your account. There is a process written up for that in the Discord, and if there's not already a info video, that will come shortly on the step-by-step on how to sign that, walk through the USB. And there's going to be updates coming for that and, processes for how it's becoming more user-friendly. But it's cool. It's very cool. We've all put some stuff up in there. We've all tested it out. And then there's a really ingenious way on the back end of how that is paid in BioFi.
No, brilliant. And then, did you guys already announce the disc and the pedal partnerships, or have you guys yet to do that?
Pedal has been announced.
Okay.
Disc has documentation and more, bells and whistles to come.
All right. Fair enough, man. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Well, I mean, guys, if there's anything you'd like to say in closing before we stop today, we really appreciate your time. I'll turn it over to Brian first, and then maybe we can go to Chris and then Cody for the final word.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks so much, Robert. And we did announce this yesterday. It was we had a Sunday AMA with the DIS team, so that is out there. We will. Looks like we'll probably have another AMA for that internally on Thursday, where we will get into we'll probably have a metaverse component of that AMA, which will be really cool. And we'll get that out to everybody, all the timings and everything for that. But Robert, I just want to say thanks to you personally for all that you do, because we need people like you in this space. We need people that are focused on helping investors and helping, enthusiasts and gamers, people that, know where the good deals are. They know where the good companies are. And that's what we strive to do. We take time to listen to the community. We want to understand what they're thinking. This isn't about us. It's about the community and it's about the providers. We've put seed products out there. We love what they do. That's going to be a tiny fraction in the end of what's in that ecosystem. Biometric Financial is huge on its own, and we'll have a couple of products in there. The rest of it's going to be all these wonderful providers, and we're so excited about that. But we need people like you. We need people like your community, because that's really what makes this whole thing work. That's what makes the entire thing work, is great people like you. So we really appreciate it and the time to talk here today.
Thank you, Brian, for those kind words. It means a lot to me. I really do appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much.
Well, all I will add to that is, thanks to the community for joining and hanging in there with us. Let's do this again, Robert.
Yeah.
I know you and Brian speak regularly, but let's do this on a regular basis. Let's get the community engaged and let them ask us questions. We love to do updates, and we love to talk. if you couldn't tell, the three of us love to talk.
There's always room here for you guys to, anytime you want to come in, give us some updates, talk with the community. We'd be happy to have you guys. You guys are one of my favorite teams, and I do talk with Brian regularly. He's just a joy to talk to. He's such a nice guy, and I think what you guys are building is there's so many real use cases here, and that's what we look for in crypto, right? We look for what is still going to be here in 12 months, 6, or so, or 2 years or 5 years. And what actually has use cases. And you guys have like 5 or 6 different solutions that have real world use case. And I do think, your technology is going to change a lot of how things are going to be kept safe, and how, wallets are going to work, and how your phone can maybe make you some money one day. There's just so much here, guys, and I just wish you all the luck in the world, and I'll do anything I can to support your project and how it's growing from here.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Big Cody, last word's yours, my friend.
Well, that sounded like it should have been the outro. Thanks so much for taking the time with us here today, Robert, and thank you so much, community, and thank you, Brian and Chris, as always. You help me build every day, and thank you to the whole team behind the scenes, everybody who's in the audience right now, and the people who are going to listen to this in the recording later. This is an enterprise in the making, and we're really going to be changing the world with this one. If all you got to do is throw some money at this. We're working tirelessly. There's thousands and thousands of man hours getting poured in day out. So we're happy to let you sit back and enjoy the ride, and just stick along with us.
We appreciate that, man. Just keep building, and the community be here to support you guys. So thank you so much for your time today, and it's always a pleasure to talk with you guys. And thank you so much for updating our community. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoy. Thank you.